5 big red flags in a relationship. Someone who demands you to trust them without any real proof or reason that they should. Someone who treats you like a secondary option while expecting your loyalty. Someone who keeps you hidden away like a foul secret. Someone who makes you feel guilty for feeling hurt over something they did. Someone who thinks an apology alone erases the pain they caused. I know it's hard to walk away, but the longer you stay with someone who exhibits these red flags, the more damage your heart and future may take.
Listen, you deserve a relationship with someone that loves, respects, and values you. Do not settle for less than you deserve. Never negotiate, bargain, or lower your standards in order to keep a relationship. It doesn't matter what your dating or relationship preferences are, whether you're straight, gay, bisexual, and everything in between. The red flags that we'll be discussing in this video apply to all people in any kind of relationship. The one constant in all relationships is that you're dealing with another person. And as people, we come into relationships with our own hangups, insecurities, baggage, and traumas. Some know how to heal and grow from it, and some people don't heal, and it shows up in toxic ways in the relationship. So in this video, listen in on the examples of red flags that other people have experienced, and look out for and apply these lessons to your life as you see fit. And on the back end of the video, I'll come back with my own commentary and advice. But before I get into the rest of the video, hello, I'm Tiffany Celeste of Your Wellness Era. I create content that will help you become your best self by leveling up your mental health, prioritizing your self-care, evaluating your relationships, and creating a lifestyle of ease. So if any of these things sound interesting to you, make sure that you hit that subscribe button because we're trying to grow our community. Turn on your notifications so when I post, you never miss a video. And also, please like the video. It helps the algorithm reach more like-minded women. So let's get into the video.
Did you see the red flags and did you pretend like they were not there?
Talk about it.
Jesus. But hold on though, because a lot of the times we like red flags, right? But you don't know what to look for if you don't know what to look for. So a lot of the times we don't know that certain things are red flags. So what are some examples of red flags?
If what a person does makes you question your worth or influences some type of doubt in you, if a person betrays you, if there is some wrongdoing, if what you believe that they're doing is morally unethical, that is more than likely a red flag. The reason why we don't see these things is because we don't know our standards, because we haven't taken the time to get to know ourselves. But the red flags were there. Based off of what you said, because I'm listening to everything that's been said, but based off of what you said, I guarantee you the red flags were there, and I guarantee you pretended like they didn't exist because you wanted to rationalize his behavior so he can stay there. I think what you did was sacrifice bits and pieces of yourself for the sake of that relationship, and now you've come to the mic because you want somebody over here to rationalize what it is, but the truth is the dude just didn't rock with you. And you need to accept that for what it is.
A common toxic relationship red flag every person looking for a healthy relationship should know. Doesn't matter your age, gender, status, sexual preference. Tell your mother, father, sister, brother. Because while it doesn't happen in every toxic relationship, it's one of the most common and usually happens in the first 6 to 9 months. And because you've never experienced this, you might not recognize it at first. The type of toxic partner to do this is insecure, jealous, and controlling. They fear your independence from them and want to break down your confidence because that's how small they feel inside. When you first meet them, they'll express admiration for you and you'll feel a deep, soulful connection. And then they'll rage over something really small. You'll be like, what? You almost can't believe it. Because of your connection, you'll try to talk it out. You want resolution and to get back to good ground. But they do not want to understand you, nor resolve things. They want to control you. If they're jealous, you will make small adjustments at first to make them more comfortable, but over time, you'll cut off important relationships, change the way you dress and who you talk to, even business relationships. If your partner goes into a rage, you must understand the severity of this red flag. People who do this are adept at breaking you down, getting you to question yourself, and exerting control. At first, they'll return to the person you fell in love with, but in time, the rages will get more frequent, space between them smaller until that space disappears, and what you're left with is bad moods, tantrums, and insults. You'll never see the person you originally fell in love with again. unless they want something from you.
Red flags when dating. Too much too soon. He's all in love with you. He wants you to meet his family. He can't see himself without you. Grandiose acts of kindness. He want to buy you stuff. He want to take you on trips. He planning y'all life together. Red flag. He doesn't want to take you anywhere. It's always, oh, y'all can't never go out. It's come over here or you will go over there. Never answers his phone past a certain hour. Baby, red flag. The only time you talk to him is when it's an outgoing call. Like, if you call him off the fly, he don't answer, but he'll call you back. Red flag. Won't add you to social media. You can't even see his social media. You don't even know his handle. Red flag. Tell you crazy stories about his ex. He never talks to you at home. He's either in his car, at a store, he's out, but you never talk to him at home. Red flag. Has your emotions all over the place. Hot, cold. You just can't figure him out. Inconsistent with communication. He calls you and then 2 days go past. He calls you, skip a couple days. Always canceling or rearranging. Red flag.
The red flag that no one talks about when it comes to relationships is not the red flag with the other person, it's the red flag in you. And that red flag is when you have to start lying to yourself and you start lying to others or omitting certain things or having to slightly change the tone around certain things that you're discussing with other people in order to keep the peace, to not have them change their perception, or for you to not have to confront this uncomfortable truth about the other person.
So one of the first red flags that you might be dealing with a narcissistic person is the unequal distribution of information on the first few dates. And what I mean by unequal distribution of information is that you feel like you're oversharing information and not getting information in return when you're dealing with a narcissistic person. Like one thing I think a lot of people get wrong about a lot of narcissists is you think that narcissists are going to talk about themselves on the first date. Does that happen? Yeah, that absolutely does happen. But you get the analytical narcissistic people that study you and want you to just verbal vomit and trauma dump on them in the first few meetings so they know everything about you. And you end up knowing very little about them. So with this unequal distribution of information, you don't really get to know the person, and they have all the information necessary to love bomb you, to control you, to manipulate you with, and whatnot. So I just tell people, look, y'all, take things slow. Make people earn your information. Don't just hand it over willy-nilly to somebody you just met because you're physically attracted to them or financially attracted to them. Whatever level of attraction you have to this person, take things slow. Make them earn it. Make them earn your information. Don't just give it to them willy-nilly, because then it's easier to manipulate you with. It's easier to love bomb you if I know everything about you. Stop giving people the blueprint to manipulate you.
This might save your life as well as your emotional well-being. This is the top 5 red flags that if you notice in a man, sis, you need to go. Coming in hot, we have anger problems. Date this man if you're looking to end your life. Now, the tricky thing about the anger issues is they may be difficult for you to notice at first. But once you get into any kind of dispute, argument, they will surface, as well as how he interacts with others. He raises his voice unnecessarily in a dispute. He punches walls. This man has no control of his emotions and he cannot control himself, and he will put you in danger. So the sooner you notice these issues, the sooner you need to leave for the betterment of your life. And if you have a life with him, future children, etc., go. Don't look back. Now, this one's going to piss some people off, but number 2 is mommy issues. A good way to find out if he has mommy issues, ask. How's your mom? What's she like? What was it like when she raised you? A man with mommy issues does not like women. He does not like you. He does not trust you. He will sabotage a relationship and will most likely sabotage you as well. The best thing you can do is pray for him, recommend a therapist, and go. Dating a man with mommy issues is a special type of hell. It's not worth it. Number 3, we have a cheap ass. Notice I did not say broke ass, because a cheap ass can have a lot of money and still just not decide to spend it on you. Pay attention to how much he tips servers. Does he offer to do little things like pay for your parking or little things that may not be necessary, but does he take pride in paying for them, or does he run away from them? A cheap man is not going to change his ways, and the quicker you leave, the better off you will be. It's giving little D energy. Next, we have jealous/insecure men. Run. Run! This can manifest in several ways, from commentary on your appearance, your makeup, your clothes, your boobs, your social media, anything to take you down, anything that makes him feel insecure about your shine, your star power, your future, your career. If you do not get consistent, confident energy, or a man that wants to pour into you, he is most likely intimidated by the woman that you are, and he's going to try and minimize you. Don't do it. Run quickly. This person over time will wear at your self-esteem and wear at the way that you want to show up in this world. Go. The jealous behavior can be leading to stalker tendencies. It can be leading to, if I can't have you, nobody can have you. If he has issues with men approaching you, or he overreacts, he doesn't like people having their eyes on you in any capacity, this one is going to come as a surprise to you. But number 5 is someone that is too smooth. Now, I put this as number 5 because he is going to be hard to identify. When you first meet him, you're going to feel like it's a match made in heaven. This man has no fear when he approaches you. He has all the right words. He has you blushing from ear to ear. And his roster has 50 women on it as of right now. This man is a player. He is not trustworthy. He knows how to get in them panties real quick. And he is way too comfortable. He's been practicing these lines for his entire life. They may have been passed down from his brothers, his uncles, something. If he is too smooth, too slick, run. You want a man who has a little anxiety and nerves when he's approaching you. The guy that does not want to mess up, does not want to touch you too quickly, doesn't want to do anything to throw off your interaction. Now, the smooth man is not that whatsoever. I have a lot more. I might do a part 2.
Red flag number 1, filters like this one. I think everybody can probably guess that I don't look like this in real life. Extreme filters show low self-confidence. They show a level of dishonesty. Let's just be forthright about that. If you are changing your appearance drastically on your online dating profile, you are duping people into seeing you. And they're going to find out what you look like when you meet them in person anyway. So it's just not even worth it. Red flag number 2, when someone says, I don't want any drama. What that translates to is, I've been in toxic relationships, and I probably think that they're toxic because I'm emotionally unavailable. So when someone tries to talk to me about their feelings, I see it as an attack. I see it as them trying to create drama and problems, and I just don't want any of that. Or it could mean, I'm terribly attracted to narcissists and toxic people. I say that I don't want drama, but psychologically, I crave it, and I attract people and stay in relationships where there's lots of drama. Red flag number 3, when someone says, if you want to know about me, just ask. Red flag number 3, when they say, if you want to know me, just ask. What that translates into is, hey, I don't want to do any of the emotional labor here. I don't want to have to reveal any parts of myself. I don't really want to put any effort in here. I'd rather remain silent and avoidant, and it's probably going to be that way in our relationship as well. You're going to have to do all the emotional work and labor, and I will give back very little.
I saw this tweet the other day that says, what's a red flag in a romantic relationship that you feel most people don't see as a red flag? Obviously, we have to talk about it. Also, stitch this and tell me what you think is a red flag in a romantic relationship that most people don't feel is a red flag. Up first, I have saying that's just the way I am in reference to calling out of shitty behavior. I feel like we're grown, and so we know what's toxic behavior and what isn't toxic behavior. And so if I call out your toxic behavior and you say, well, that's just how I am, red flag, goodbye. Number 2, I have always wanting to be together. This shit is draining. In my last relationship, my boyfriend always wanted to be together. If we weren't together, we were on FaceTime. Like, I just want some time to myself. And he would get so mad if I was like, okay, I'm gonna hang up now. It was to the point he wanted us to sleep on the phone together. Like,
Can I live? I know other couples that are like this as well. This is not healthy. You are supposed to spend time away from your partner, whether it's by yourself, with friends. You're not supposed to be breathing down each other's necks all the time. And if you are, it's probably why you're fighting all the time. I feel like these two kind of go hand in hand, but number 3 is getting upset if I want to hang out with friends. Again, my last boyfriend did this. If I wanted to go out with my friends or whatever, he would get so angry with me, wanted to text me the whole time. And I'm like, I want to be present with my friends. Red flag. Number 4, if all of your exes hate you, that is a huge red flag to me. I'm not saying you and your ex have to be besties, but not everything has to be bad blood. Like sometimes things just don't work out and that's okay. If all of your exes hate you, babe, let's think about the common denominator here. You might be the problem. Number 5, I have bringing trauma from past relationships into new relationships. Hear me out. I'm not saying that you have to be fully healed from every relationship and every trauma that's happened to you before you get into another relationship, because I genuinely don't know if you ever really heal from trauma. Like, you change, obviously. But what I mean by that, and I'll give you an example, in my last relationship, if I wanted to go out with my friends or whatever, my ex would be like, I'm afraid for you to go out because when my ex went out, she would cheat on me. If you are so affected that you're trying to police what your new partner does based off of what your old partner did, you should not be in a relationship. That is a clear indicator that you still need to heal and you should be single and by yourself to heal. One of my favorite quotes, if you don't heal from the things that hurt you, you'll bleed on the people who didn't cut you. Finally, I have being rude and masking it as joking. One of my favorite things to do in a relationship is roasting. I love a good roast battle. It's like my love language, playful banter, love it. But if you're just being an asshole and you're masking it as roasting or joking, nah, because I'll cuss you out real quick. I'm sure I could think of more, but these are the ones that were on the top of my head. Let me know what you think.
Red flags and online dating profiles translated for you. I'm Dr. Sarah Hensley. I'm a specialized social psychologist, and I've been studying attraction and attachment inside romantic relationships for over 15 years. And this is another edition of Carline Relationship Advice. When he says, I'm looking for a girl that doesn't take herself too seriously. Translation. I'm a dismissive, avoidant man. I lack the ability to be emotionally vulnerable with people. So instead, I use humor to try to connect. I am going to tease you endlessly inside of this relationship. And when I take it too far and you tell me it makes you uncomfortable, I'm just going to say, you take yourself too seriously. When she says, I don't want any games. Translation. I'm a fearful, avoidant woman, and I'm actually the ultimate game player. I am going to suck you in with my depth and my empathy and my warmth, and you will be mesmerized by me, only for me to suddenly withdraw because you did something to hurt my feelings, and I'm not even going to tell you what it is. I mean, you should just know. When he says, I'm looking to spoil you rotten. Translation. I'm a narcissistic love bomber. I am going to spoil you rotten, and I will make you feel like you have never felt before, only to bait and switch and show you the true evil, manipulative, controlling being that I actually am. It's rough out there, guys. Stay safe.
You need to watch out for the red flags. Don't get married too fast. You want to go through at least enough seasons where you see how they handle pain.
Yes.
Their grandmother dies, how he handles that. Does that send him back to drinking and clubbing and being online flirting with other women? You need to see how she or he handles losing a job, because that's how you know the kind of character a person has. It's not when they're on the mountaintop and they're getting everything they want. You need to see how they handle loss. You don't want to connect yourself with someone who cannot handle the pain of life, and then you find yourself in and out of rehab with them all the time.
Wow.
You don't want to take too long to get married. I see some people be dating for 10 years. I'd be like, what in the world are you waiting on? You know what that's showing me? Red flag. That person has a commitment issue. And I cannot prove this in the Bible, but I'll just tell you, through 20 years of ministry, after about 2 years of y'all being together, you should at least be talking about the next step in your relationship. After 2 years of I love you too, I love you. Okay, how much do you love me? If you love me that much, put a ring on it. And so there comes a place where, listen, you either gonna step up or step off, because God got somebody better for me. And
but sometimes I'm speaking to women now. Sometimes he'll be with you for 5 to 10 years because you're giving him all of the goods that he is not yet qualified for, because he becomes qualified when he gives you his name. When you have his name and a ring on it, then he can have all of the goods. So if you close the shop so he can't have any of the goods, see what he does.
It's true. It's so true. I'm going to leave it at that.
So now that you may have identified some potential red flags in your relationship, you may be asking yourself, now what do I do? Let me say this first. You should not accept any kind of harmful behaviors. Remember, a healthy and successful relationship requires two people pouring into each other to make each other happy. You have to learn to make yourself happy first outside of being in a relationship, and the relationship should be a bonus. When it comes to relationship red flags, the best way to handle them is earlier on in the relationship, because when you ignore it from the beginning, it only makes it harder to leave the more it goes on. First and foremost, trust your instincts. Red flags are warning signs of unhealthy behavior or manipulation. You are not crazy or overreacting. If something feels off, it probably is. Red flags should not be ignored. They can be signs of an unhealthy, toxic relationship or even an emotionally abusive one. I will always advocate for you to seek guidance from a professional, such as a therapist or counselor. Your therapist can help you recognize patterns and develop strategies for dealing with red flags. Also, communicate with your partner about what you're feeling and have an open and honest dialogue with your partner. Express your concerns and feelings and let them do the same. Do keep in mind and be aware of emotional manipulation tactics from your partner, such as gaslighting, breadcrumbing, love bombing, or future faking. And if you need more information on these behaviors, let me know in the comments and I'll reply back to you or create another video on those topics. In some circumstances, it may be necessary to consider ending the relationship. Red flags can indicate that it's time to end or back away from a relationship. You should never lower your standards, accept mistreatment, give up your wants and needs, or put your happiness on hold. You deserve a relationship with someone that loves you, respects you, and values you. Do not settle for less than you deserve. Never negotiate, bargain, or lower your standards in order to keep a relationship. If you choose to leave your relationship, then watch my video titled How to Detach from People and Situations, Be Unbothered, and learn how to heal and move on from your relationship. I will have it linked in the end screen and in the description box below. And for even more guidance on how to get your life back on track, download my free life audit worksheet that will help you identify which areas in your life that need the most attention and gain clarity on the steps you need to take to put you back on your path of purpose and fulfillment. What are your thoughts on the topics discussed in the video? I would love to know. So join the conversation in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share this video to help others on their journey. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.